without Trump, um, like white people would be eradicated
By who?
by all the other illegals that are coming to America and causing havoc.
How would they eradicate white people? What does that even mean?
Like it's kind of obvious, no?
Not really, no. If it's obvious to you, then there's something going on in your head that needs to be checked out.
America has law and order. So
You
if
don't
there's
give a
crime,
fuck about law
there's
and
an
order if
action.
you support Trump. Stop. Don't even use that phrase. Stop. You don't get to use that. Does someone have to comply with a subpoena if they're subpoenaed? Yes or no?
I don't know. I have no idea.
You don't know?
I'm not a lawyer. How would I know? Like, how would you know? How would I know?
Yeah, how does anyone know anything?
Um,
You don't even know what the cases are about. You're just trying to make excuses for Trump because you love Trump.
Again, going back,
Right?
many people love him.
Can we
because
just say the
he's-
quiet part out loud?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a crime to love our president?
It's
Keeping us
not a
secret?
crime to be part of a delusional cult. It's not a crime, I guess.
I'm not gonna say the N word. I'm 21.
Okay. What did you want to debate?
Okay, so as an immigrant who's living in America, the reason I support Trump is because he's protecting the American people.
No, he's not.
Would you not say making America safer is protecting the American people?
Making America safer would protect the American people. Trump's not making America safer. He's making it actually more dangerous across the board.
Would you say protecting different races in America is it not protecting the American people?
Say it again?
Protecting different races, like their right to exist. Would you not say that it's
I
making
think
them
every
safer?
citizen should be given equal protection under the law. I think it should be based on race.
So you don't support, let's say,
What,
being protected.
segregation or?
No, just them being protected. Because here's the thing: without
I
Trump,
support everyone being protected.
without Trump, like white people would be eradicated
By who?
by all the other illegals that are coming to America and causing havoc.
How would they eradicate white people? What does that even mean?
Like it's kind of obvious, no?
Not really, no. If it's obvious to you, then there's something going on in your head that needs to be checked out. Why? How are white people being, I guess, genocided by undocumented immigrants who commit crimes at lower rates when they come in?
Mm-hmm. Look, okay, I'm an immigrant, and so I'm not even white, but I can see that a lot of these
Can I ask
illegals
what race
coming
you
in
are, if
and
you don't mind me asking?
I'm mixed.
And you're really worried, you think that people that are the same color as you are like trying to get rid of white people?
So the people that bypass the immigration law and come here illegally, they are going to commit crimes, and a
But
lot of
that's not who
them.
Trump's even going after. He's going after legal asylum seekers and citizens and green card
Mhm.
holders. Why hurt them?
I mean, they're because you don't know. We don't know yet. He's doing preventative measures
What do you mean we
to
don't know?
protect
Like,
everybody.
okay, there's an apartment complex in Chicago where U.S. citizens live in that apartment complex. Then DHS pulls up with a Black Hawk helicopter. They kick down the doors, break in through the windows. They use flashbangs, and they put American citizens in zip ties at like 3 a.m. in the middle of the night. How is America safer from that?
So I'm not talking about specific people, but in the broader sense,
No, but hold
getting rid
on.
of.
Can you address that?
Okay, it's making America safer because of those people. There's a high percentage of them that are criminals. So getting
No.
rid of them is
Where?
making America safer.
And hold on, even if someone's a criminal, do we not have due process? You don't need a warrant to do certain things?
The thing is, because Democrats control all the judges, and
No,
these
they
days,
don't.
even if you're a criminal and
Wait,
get
how do
arrested,
Democrats control all the judges? What world, what are you talking about?
ask anybody who lives in a big city. If you commit a crime, you go to jail, you get a slap on your wrist, and you're back in the
How do
streets 2 days
Democrats
later.
control all the judges? Do you have any evidence of this?
Because all the judges are left leaning. They don't believe in
All the
punishment.
judges are left leaning. The judges that have given convictions to like Democrats in corruption cases, those judges are left leaning. The judges that required Hillary Clinton to release her emails, those judges are left leaning. The judges that allowed
When it,
Trump to
mhm,
temporarily dismiss his classified documents case in Florida, those judges are left leaning. Ketanji Brown Jackson, appointed by Joe Biden, who gave a stay to Trump in cutting SNAP payments, she's controlled by the Democrats, apparently.
because when it comes to like crime in the city, I'm not talking about politicians, like someone who like essay or does a robbery or any sort of criminal activities. You don't go to jail for that. You just get a slap on the wrist and you're back on the streets the next day.
Would that be
Because the
up to the
judges,
judge or to
yeah,
the
because the
laws on the
judges don't,
books?
they
Judges are going to
believe they don't
interpret the
believe in
statutory criminal law and see, okay, based on how many strikes you have or like the severity of your crime, there's certain guidelines in place that give guidance on how you're supposed to sentence people. And again, do you have any evidence that judges are being like mind controlled by Democrats? How does this happen?
it's not mind control. It's their belief.
Is
They're
there a
left
meeting
leaning.
that happens every month where like Joe Biden struggles to speak and gives them orders on what verdicts to give to people? Like, how
No,
does this work
it's even more
functionally?
simpler than that.
Okay,
It's simpler than
more
that.
simpler. How is it
They're
more
left
simpler?
leaning because the left believes in they don't believe in prison. They don't believe in police. So
No, that's
like
Trump who doesn't
of
believe in
course,
law and order, doesn't believe in prison and police, right? Trump is the one who pardoned people that assaulted police officers.
listen. All I'm gonna say is
Hold
I
on. No,
want a
no, no, no,
safe
no, no. Don't
country.
run from this. You're really pro blue, right? Back the blue. Can you name me a
Hmm.
Democratic president who pardoned people that assaulted police officers?
Yeah, like when the BLM protests were occurring and
Yeah, no, no.
everybody was
Biden didn't
disrespecting the
pardon anyone
police.
violent, and when the BLM protests were occurring, Trump was president actually. So I don't even know what your argument there is. Can you name me
No,
again
but
one Democratic president who pardoned
mhm.
like basically terrorists the way that Trump did?
All the Antifa protesters that Democrats support. How about them?
I'm gonna ask you again. Can you name me any Democratic presidents who have pardoned people that have assaulted police officers?
That I don't know. I don't know about assault on
I'll tell you why you
police
don't know. It's
officers,
because there is no
but
example of that. That didn't happen. It's not a thing.
okay, but that is one example. I'm not talking about assault on police officers. I'm talking about people
You
who
just
commit
said
crime.
that Democratic cities are like anti-police. I think it's pretty anti-police to pardon people that abuse police. You're aware that like two police officers from the Capitol on January 6th took their own lives because they were so traumatized after what happened.
And I pray for them, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about
No, but that's
criminals.
your guy though, that who supports all that, that pardoned all those people, that loved when that happened. That's your guy.
At the end of the day, he is making America safer for a lot of people,
You can
especially
give me
people
a
that are
slogan,
poor.
but every single substantive point we've just discussed paints the opposite picture.
So you don't agree that getting rid of illegals that are committing crime is making America safer for people,
That's not even what Trump
basically.
is doing. I'll tell you
Okay,
again,
then
Trump is not prioritizing criminal deportations. In fact, the majority of people being deported now have no criminal record since entering the country, and many of them are documented legal asylum seekers who are being ambushed at immigration court for no reason, even though they followed all the rules to come here. And
right.
Not to mention US citizens being beat up by ICE on a weekly basis.
Yes, so the reason that's happening is because those people, those American citizens, they're interfering in what ICE is doing. They're
Okay, can
attacking
you
ICE.
explain to me how the little kids who were asleep in that Chicago apartment complex at 3 a.m., how did those little kids, like 10 and 12-year-olds, what were they doing to undermine our government? What crimes were they committing that warranted them being zip-tied and traumatized in the middle of the night?
I don't know that specific case, but I've seen
But you
people,
assume
videos
you
of
assume they were
people.
up to something
No, no, no. But
diabolical?
you have seen
Answer
people
that.
blocking
Answer
ICE.
that.
Have you not seen?
Answer
How am I
that.
supposed to know? I don't have the intel. I don't have the like the briefing of every ICE
Is
arrest.
there any reasonable cause you could give me for brutalizing like little kids who are American citizens in the middle of the night? What could be a good justification to do something like that?
Crime,
What types of crimes are 10 and 12-year-olds committing that warrant them being raided without a warrant?
violent crimes,
So
being
you
here
think it's like a
illegally.
reasonable assumption that these kids in the Chicago apartment complex, some toddlers, they were committing violent crimes? It's like a reasonable assumption, you think?
I don't know what they were doing, but I'm just saying that
But you're saying
like
it's like,
citizens have
you're saying that
like
it's not
crimes have
possible that this was
consequences.
bad and that there has to be some reason. So you think the kids probably did something to deserve it.
So you're saying if you're a child and you commit a crime, you shouldn't have any sort of repercussion.
I never said that actually.
But that's what you're implying.
No, it's not actually.
I'm saying is America has law and order. So
You
if
don't
there's a
give a fuck
crime,
about law
there's
and
an
order if you
action.
support Trump. Stop. Don't even use that phrase. Stop. You don't get to use that. You hate law and order if you support Trump. You hate it.
You wanted to know why people support Trump? Is
That's
because
a
we
different
feel
question.
safer.
That's a different question.
We feel
Don't.
safer.
The fact that you have the gall and the audacity to utter the words law and order when you support the most criminal president in modern American history is insane to me. So just don't do that, okay?
So are we not supposed to punish crime? Like, are we not
We
supposed
are. Why
to?
didn't we punish Trump?
Because he of course didn't find him guilty. He faced the fire. He did something that a lot of presidents would never do. There
Wait,
would a
Trump was
lot.
found not guilty in his criminal trials?
Yeah, because look, if
Really?
other
The criminal
presidents, if
trials that
other,
never, hold on. The DOJ indictments that never actually went to trial, he was found not guilty in those ones? How does that work?
they never went to trial because they didn't have enough evidence.
Not
They knew
true.
they
Not
didn't have enough
true. You're
evidence.
lying. You're lying.
No, they didn't. They
You're
didn't.
lying.
They didn't have.
That's not a matter of opinion. You're lying. They had plenty of
No,
evidence, and they were dismissed without prejudice because Trump won the election, and the DOJ has a policy that they don't try to indict sitting presidents or prosecute sitting presidents. The cases can be brought back after Trump leaves office. And again, they had a lot of evidence. They had text messages and security camera footage and emails of criminal conspiracy to obstruct
right.
justice and do a coup on the U.S. government. So stop acting like you care about law and order. You don't give a fuck about law and order if you support Trump.
But would you not say it's brave of him to at least face the fire, whereas a lot of politicians would escape the
Would you
hard.
say it was brave of Jeffrey Epstein to face the fire? Like, what is this logic? What do you mean, brave of him to? If you're indicted, you have to face the fire. It's not brave. You have to.
He did, and he was. Listen, I can't change the law. Like, he was brought to trial.
Can you
He
just
was not
admit that you
found
do not
guilty.
care about law and order?
No, I 100% care about law and order.
No, but
100%.
when
That's
Trump
why
breaks the law, you don't care.
I'm talking about violence. I'm talking about destruction of property.
You
I'm
hold
talking
on. Let's
about,
not change it. Do you support law and order?
of course, every
Does that
American
apply
should
to
support law
Trump?
and order. I believe in the
Does
due
that apply to
process.
Trump?
Of course,
Then you should support Trump being investigated for all of his crimes.
he was he not?
Yes, and then he won the election, and the actual court cases were paused.
So that's part of the law and order. If
Do
someone's
you
a
know? Do
president
you know
who
what he
cannot,
was indicted for?
there was a whole bunch of accusations because Democrats did not want him to win. So they were
Democrats had
already
nothing to
piling
do
on.
with Trump being indicted federally.
Oh, they definitely did.
No, they
They
didn't.
definitely
You're lying
did.
again. You love telling lies.
You don't think the Democrats had anything to do with
It's
all
not
the
about what I
cases
think.
against Trump?
It's not about what I think or what you think. This is a question of fact. It's a question of reality.
And the reality is, there were
The
many Democrats.
DOJ took it easy on Trump. Anyone else who did what Trump did would be rotting away in jail by now.
Then why is he not? Because they didn't have
Because
enough evidence.
because the attorney general under Biden was so obsessed with being fair and being apolitical that he slow walked the investigation. He said, "Let's not rush this. I don't want to politicize this. Let's make sure we give Trump 10 million chances to avoid getting indicted." He lied to National Archives. He lied to the DOJ. They asked him for like a year straight, "Hey man, can you please return these documents? We really don't want to have to escalate this." And Trump said, "No, I'm not going to do that." Then Trump was subpoenaed and he didn't comply with the subpoena. And just so we're clear, you understand, does someone have to comply with a subpoena if they're subpoenaed? Yes or no?
I don't know. I have no idea.
You don't know?
I'm not a lawyer. How would I know?
If you're subpoenaed, why would you not have to comply with that?
Because there may be other like circumstances. We don't know what's going on. Like how would you know? How would I know?
Yeah, how does anyone know anything? Let's ask. Hey, Google, do you have to comply with a subpoena in the United States, or are there circumstances where you can ignore it? You are legally required to comply with a subpoena unless you can legally object or challenge it, which Trump didn't do.
But you have to understand, this is the president, ex-president of the
Oh, so
United
he's above
States.
the law?
So no, but he's not above the law. But
You think he
there are
is?
many circumstances. This is a special case, which there's a lot of different.
You don't even know what the cases are about. You're just trying to make excuses for Trump because you love Trump.
Again, going back,
Right?
many people love him.
Can we just
because
say the quiet part out loud?
yeah,
Yeah.
Is that a crime to not love our president who's
It's
keeping us
not a
safe?
crime to be part of a delusional cult. It's not a crime, I guess.
And then okay, we have a difference of opinion. I feel safe under Trump. You don't, but many people do feel safer under him than they did under Kamala or what's
I
his name,
think people
Biden.
feel unsafe when people are being arrested for expressing their free speech, when people are being brutalized in the middle of the night, regardless if they're citizens or not, and being traumatized, when Trump is extremely corrupt, enriching himself to the tune of billions of dollars. I don't think I feel safer or more secure with that.
So
Go
you
go
would
ask all
think
the
you would
families who rely on food stamps if they feel safer. Go ask all the families who need the Affordable Care Act subsidies if they feel safer. Go ask them.
so you think we were
Yeah.
safer under Biden and we had more free speech when we couldn't even say
Yes. Yes, we had more free speech under Biden. Yes.
because look at
Obviously.
and Biden
Obviously.
under Biden we got canceled
Undeniably.
left and right.
I will
No.
concede this entire argument and become a Trump supporter if you answer this one question, right? Under Joe Biden's presidency, who was put in handcuffs for expressing an opinion, committing no crime? Who was put in handcuffs for exercising their First Amendment rights? Who?
I have no idea. I
The
don't
answer is
keep
no
track
one.
of
The answer is no one. Now let's ask under Trump, who was put in handcuffs for expressing an opinion?
no one for
Mahmoud
opinion.
Khalil.
Nobody. That no, because he was supporting terrorist organizations.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was.
Nope, a judge,
That's
a
illegal.
Reagan appointed conservative judge ruled on this case and said the Trump administration is trying to strike fear into pro-Palestinian protesters by illegally and unconstitutionally curbing their First Amendment rights.
And the reason the judge said
And
that
the
is
reason
because
you don't
people
believe that is
were
because you
rioting.
love Trump and you don't care about reality, you don't care about law and order. All you care about is Trump is your dad. That's it.
So you don't agree that a judge can be influenced by the public perception? Because
You don't
people were
even know
ready
what
to.
court case I'm talking about. You're just making excuses because you want Trump to be in the right.
No, no, no. I do know that case. He
Really?
was let go because there
You
were
know the
people
case.
rioting. The guy who in New York who was arrested
Hold
for
on, you know
being
the case?
pro-Palestine. Yeah,
The Reagan
I've
appointed
heard
judge, you
about
know
it.
that case?
The one you're talking about, the Mahmoud guy, right?
The Reagan appointed judge who ruled actually not just on Mahmoud Khalil, but I think this also applied to like Ramesa Ozturk and student visas as well as green cards, that the
Oh no,
Trump administration was
I don't know about
curbing.
every single. I don't know about every single one of those cases, but I know
You
about
don't
the
care
specific
about
one.
free speech. You don't care about law and order. All you care about is glazing Trump, and that's fine, but just admit it. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to us. Don't waste our time. Don't say catchphrases like law and order and back the blue, and then support the criminal who pardons anti-police terrorists and tries to cut people's SNAP benefits. Don't do that, okay? It's insulting to our intelligence. It's insulting to your own self-respect. Don't do that, okay?
But you don't think the judges are influenced by external events. People were gonna burn New York City to the ground. Those terrorist sympathizers, they were like ready
Mahmoud
to.
Khalil is not even accused of a crime. Even the Trump administration didn't accuse him of a crime. They
He
admitted,
was
by the way, you're making excuses for Trump that, by the way, your dad Trump doesn't even say that. Trump and Marco Rubio admitted, we want to arrest and deport this guy because he's pro-Palestine. They admitted that. There's no crime he was even accused of committing.
because he's not an American citizen. You're not
He's a green
allowed
card
to be.
holder.
You're not allowed
And
to
hold
go
on,
into
so now you're
political
admitting that
protests.
people's free speech was curbed under Trump. You're saying
Yeah,
if you're not a citizen, you don't get free speech?
yeah, if you're not a citizen, you can't do political protests and support terror.
That's
Like
not true.
say out terrorist
That's
slogans.
not true.
Like you can be
That's not true.
pro-Palestine without being
That's not true.
pro
That's not true.
chaos, pro
That's not
you know
true.
pro destruction of the city.
That is not true.
Well, then I don't agree. If you're not an
No,
American
no, no.
citizen
You keep
and you're
falling
going over there,
my friend, you keep falling into this trap, but like, no, what I think and I disagree. We are not talking about opinions right now. We're talking about facts. We're talking about reality itself.
so you're saying
You can't have an
anyone can
opinion
protest.
on whether something happened if it actually happened, okay?
So you're saying anybody from anywhere.
Stop telling me what you think
any
I'm saying
country.
and address what I'm saying. How about that?
What are you saying? What are you asking me? Tell me exactly. Ask me your question.
Trump is anti-law and order, and he's anti-free speech,
Nope.
and you support
Nope.
Trump. Therefore,
Nope.
you're anti-law and order, and
Nope.
you're anti-free speech.
Nope. 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 Trump supports safety. You're living in a safe country because he's protecting the
He
border.
doesn't support safety. He literally took DEA agents, FBI agents, federal investigators that go after child trafficking and drug smuggling. He took them off the field to go through the Epstein files and redact his name. Does that make us safer? to take law enforcement off the streets to save Trump's ass because he's too much of a pedo, allegedly.
Okay, well then go vote for Democrats and see what happens to this country where there's gun violence, robbery, SA, fights. See,
Some of these people need to be put under like an MR. Like this is some kind of psychological. This is like actual psychotic delusion. What I just experienced. The lack of self awareness. Same with the previous guy. When Trump does it, it's good. When Democrats do the exact same thing, according to me, it's bad, right? Because like they say stuff like, okay, Biden was anti-free speech. I don't even think that's true. But here's the thing. Even if you grant their bullshit premise, which it's important to know it's bullshit, even if you grant their bullshit premise, say, oh, you care about free speech violations, you think Biden did that, then you should be pulling your hair out about what Trump is doing, right? No? Oh, interesting. It's just politicized then with you, right? Even if you grant them their premise, which you should never grant them, even if you grant the premise, there is never any actual consistency in the values they claim to have. It's all a lie.